The MTV stage just became the latest battleground in the ongoing Kendrick versus Drake saga. And once again, Kendrick Lamar has left fans and critics stunned. Reports are pouring in that Kendrick's latest performance not only dominated the charts but also delivered a score on the MTV stage that has listeners debating who truly rules the rap game. Fans are going wild online, sharing clips, reaction videos, and memes, all dissecting Kendrick's flawless delivery, stage presence, and lyrical precision. The performance reportedly showcased Kendrick's unmatched control over the crowd, his ability to command attention, and his clever lyrical references that many believe were subtle reminders to Drake about who currently holds the top spot in hip-hop. Social media is buzzing with debates about the MTV score, with fans calculating votes, reactions, and influence metrics, trying to determine just how overwhelmingly Kendrick outperformed Drake this time. Twitter threads and TikTok compilations break down every movement, expression, and line, sparking discussions about artistry, stagecraft, and the ever-intensifying rivalry between these two rap icons. Industry insiders are analyzing the performance as more than just a concert. It's a statement of dominance, influence, and strategic positioning in modern hip-hop. Fans are divided yet captivated. Some argue that Kendrick's performance solidified his position as the top artist in the game, while others defend Drake, pointing to his legacy and streaming numbers. Despite the division, one thing is clear: the MTV stage has become a proving ground, and Kendrick's latest performance has set a new standard. The score itself has ignited viral debates, with fans speculating about the numbers, voting patterns, and the cultural weight behind this public showdown. Every clip, meme, and analysis shared online fuels the drama, turning a single performance into a global event that will be dissected for weeks. This MTV showdown has reminded everyone why Kendrick Lamar isn't just an artist, he's a cultural force. With the score in, fans can't stop talking, theorizing, and comparing, making this one of the most talked about moments in hip-hop history. Whether you're Team Kendrick, Team Drake, or just watching the drama unfold, this performance has left an undeniable mark on music and social media, proving once again that the rivalry between these two icons is far from over, and every new performance could rewrite the narrative. The MTV stage was set for a showdown that fans had been buzzing about for weeks. Rumors had circulated that Kendrick Lamar was planning something monumental, and from the moment he stepped on stage, it was clear this was going to be a performance unlike any other. His energy was palpable, the crowd electric, and every camera angle seemed to capture Kendrick in total command of the moment. From the opening bars, it was obvious that Kendrick had carefully curated the performance to assert his dominance, combining flawless lyricism, stage presence, and production value. Fans immediately began sharing clips on TikTok and Instagram, highlighting everything from his hand movements to the way he engaged the audience. The viral nature of the performance meant that within minutes, reactions were flooding social media, with viewers dissecting every second of the show. The performance itself was a masterclass. Kendrick moved seamlessly between songs, each transition calculated to maintain energy and emphasize his artistry. Critics noted that the performance blended old-school rap techniques with modern staging, creating a visually stunning and musically complex set that appealed to both longtime fans and newcomers. His lyrics, as always, carried multiple layers of meaning, some lines celebrating his achievements, others subtly referencing the ongoing rivalry with Drake. Fans online quickly picked up on these nuances, debating which bars were intended as subliminal shots and which were purely celebratory. Every gesture, nod, and pause became fodder for speculation, with memes, reaction videos, and fan commentary multiplying at a rapid pace. The MTV score, which had been leaked in some circles even before the performance, became a focal point of discussion. Fans tried to analyze what it meant, how it was calculated, and just how much Kendrick had outperformed Drake this time. Every detail was scrutinized, from audience engagement to streaming reactions, social media activity, and post-performance coverage. Some fans celebrated the overwhelming numbers, claiming that Kendrick had officially schooled Drake once again, while others questioned the metrics, defending Drake's influence and arguing that one stage score couldn't capture the full picture of their ongoing rivalry. The debate quickly became global, with fans across multiple platforms weighing in, sharing clips, and breaking down each musical moment. Media outlets and industry insiders were quick to weigh in, framing Kendrick's performance as more than just entertainment. It was a statement. Analysts highlighted the technical precision of his performance, his ability to read and engage the crowd, and his strategic song selection that amplified both energy and lyrical impact. Some speculated that the MTV score, which seemed to favor Kendrick overwhelmingly, would only intensify the ongoing rivalry, forcing Drake to consider his next move carefully. Industry commentators noted that in the era of social media and viral clips, performances like this carry a dual purpose. Not only do they entertain, but they also assert cultural dominance, influence streaming numbers, and shape public perception. Fans didn't just react, they participated. Social media exploded with hashtags, reaction videos, memes, and polls comparing Kendrick and Drake's respective influence, performance quality, and artistry. On TikTok, users created compilations of Kendrick's best moments, emphasizing crowd reactions and lyrical highlights. Twitter threads dissected bars line by line, debating whether Kendrick's subtle references were intentional messages directed at Drake. Instagram stories featured clips of fans in the crowd, dancing and reacting, showing firsthand how magnetic Kendrick's performance was. The engagement demonstrated how modern music culture has evolved. A live performance isn't just a show, it's a multi-platform event, where fans actively shape the narrative in real time. By the end of the night, the consensus among fans and critics was clear. Kendrick Lamar had delivered a performance that set a new benchmark. The MTV score confirmed his dominance in the moment, sparking endless debates about artistry, influence, and the ongoing saga between him and Drake. With social media in constant motion, streaming numbers climbing, and media coverage highlighting every detail, Kendrick's performance had become a global event. The world was watching, analyzing, and waiting to see how Drake would respond, and whether this MTV score would redefine the hierarchy in modern hip-hop. One thing was certain. Kendrick had reminded everyone why he is not just an artist, but a cultural force that commands attention, respect, and influence on every stage he steps onto. The morning after Kendrick's groundbreaking MTV performance, social media was still ablaze with fan reactions, clips, and analyses. Fans had replayed the footage countless times, breaking it down frame by frame to study every detail, from Kendrick's hand gestures to the way he interacted with the audience. TikTok compilations highlighted his most impressive lyrical moments. Instagram reels focused on crowd reactions and stage visuals, and Twitter threads became arenas for heated debates over whether Kendrick had truly schooled Drake once again. Fans meticulously calculated the so-called MTV score, comparing it to previous performances, streaming metrics, and social engagement, fueling a discussion that blended numbers, opinion, and fandom into a single, high-intensity conversation. Within hours, hashtags praising Kendrick and debating Drake's response were trending worldwide, proving that the impact of the performance extended far beyond the stage itself. The fan divide was stark. Kendrick supporters hailed the performance as a masterclass in artistry, noting how his flawless delivery, energetic crowd control, and clever lyrical nods solidified his dominance. They pointed to the MTV score as validation that he was operating at a level Drake had struggled to match in recent months. Meanwhile, Drake fans defended their idol, arguing that streaming numbers, career longevity, and global influence could not be measured by a single performance or score. Online forums and Reddit threads exploded with polls, reaction GIFs, and bar-by-bar analysis, as each side tried to prove their favorite rapper's supremacy. Memes and reaction videos further fueled engagement, ranging from dramatic reenactments of Kendrick's high-energy moments to humorous edits portraying Drake's perceived defeat. Fans weren't just watching, they were participating, creating content, sharing opinions, and shaping the narrative in real time. Music industry analysts joined the conversation, providing professional insight into why the MTV performance mattered so much. Commentators emphasized that live performances are increasingly about more than just music. They are about cultural influence, audience engagement, and narrative control. Kendrick's careful choreography, song selection, and lyrical choices all contributed to a performance that was designed not only to entertain but to assert dominance in a rivalry that had captured global attention. Some analysts speculated that the MTV score, which overwhelmingly favored Kendrick, was a reflection of fan engagement and cultural momentum rather than an absolute judgment of skill, but even this perspective acknowledged the clear impact of his performance. Drake's silence or delayed response only added fuel to the discussion, prompting speculation about whether he would release a track, make a statement, or let Kendrick's dominance stand unchallenged. Fans were relentless in their analysis. TikTok videos showed split-screen comparisons between Kendrick's performance and Drake's most recent live appearances, emphasizing differences in energy, lyrical precision, and audience connection. Twitter users created threads counting engagement metrics, breaking down the MTV score by reactions, fan voting, and social media impressions. Instagram stories displayed fan reactions from the arena, capturing first-hand excitement and awe. Across platforms, fans dissected lyrics, gestures, and visual cues, attempting to decode whether Kendrick was making subtle references to Drake, asserting a broader statement about hip-hop dominance, or simply performing for his own artistic satisfaction. The viral spread of these clips and analyses ensured that discussion about the performance dominated online conversations for days. Amid the fan frenzy, speculation about Drake's next move reached a fever pitch. Music commentators and social media users alike debated whether he would respond with a track aimed at reclaiming his perceived superiority, a social media post defending his legacy, or a completely different strategy. Every minor update, whether a studio photo, cryptic tweet, or interview snippet, was scrutinized for hints about his next step. Analysts emphasize that this dynamic illustrates how modern rap rivalries extend beyond music itself, encompassing social media engagement, cultural influence, and fan-driven narratives. The MTV performance had become more than a single event. It was a catalyst that shaped discussions about artistry, competition, and public perception in the digital era. By the end of the day, the story had firmly entrenched itself in hip-hop culture. The MTV score, fan debates, and viral clips ensured that Kendrick's performance would be remembered as a defining moment, while the anticipation of Drake's potential response kept the narrative alive. Social media, music analysis, and fan engagement intertwined to create a global spectacle, proving that in today's music world, performances are not just about the stage. They are about influence, legacy, and the unrelenting conversation between fans and artists. Kendrick had not just performed. He had set the stage for the next chapter in one of hip-hop's most compelling rivalries. By the third day following Kendrick Lamar's explosive MTV performance, the conversation had moved far beyond the performance itself. Clips of his flawless stage presence, lyrical precision, and crowd control dominated social media feeds, with fans replaying moments repeatedly to capture every nuance. TikTok was flooded with fan reactions, compilations, and dramatic reenactments of Kendrick's best lines, while Instagram Reels highlighted crowd energy and stage theatrics. On Twitter, heated debates raged over the MTV score, with users dissecting every detail, from audience engagement to social media reactions, to argue over who truly came out on top. Even casual music listeners were drawn into the frenzy, curious to see why this performance was generating so much buzz. The viral nature of the performance demonstrated just how much influence a single stage moment can have in shaping cultural conversations and fan perceptions in the digital age. Fans' interpretations of the performance quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Those backing Kendrick emphasized the artistry, noting how his carefully crafted setlist, seamless transitions, and precision in lyrical delivery showcased why he remains a top figure in modern hip-hop. Supporters pointed to the MTV score as evidence of his dominance, claiming that metrics like audience engagement, applause intensity, and streaming reaction all reflected his superiority over Drake in the current moment. Meanwhile, Drake fans insisted that one performance or one score could never fully define influence, citing his massive catalog, global fan base, and streaming numbers. The resulting debates on Reddit threads, Twitter feeds, and fan forums were exhaustive, with bar-by-bar breakdowns, GIF compilations, and side-by-side comparisons further fueling discussions. Memes proliferated, dramatizing Kendrick's triumph and poking fun at Drake's perceived loss, amplifying engagement and keeping the story in constant circulation. Music industry insiders began weighing in, analyzing the broader implications of Kendrick's performance. Experts highlighted that this was more than just a stage show. It was a strategic display of cultural and musical dominance. Analysts pointed out that Kendrick's control over the audience, his use of visual effects, and his sharp lyrical references served not only as entertainment but also as a reminder to the industry, and to Drake, of his current relevance and influence. Some commentators noted that the MTV score, while partially symbolic, reflected tangible fan and media engagement, showing the power of live performance in the social media era. Others argue that the score could pressure Drake to respond creatively, potentially setting the stage for another chapter in this ongoing rivalry. Fans embraced the participatory nature of the moment. Social media platforms became arenas for live analysis, with users calculating the score, rating audience reactions, and debating subtle lyrical meanings. TikTok users created compilations highlighting Kendrick's precision, dramatic pauses, and clever references, while Instagram stories showcased audience reactions and fan energy during the performance. On Twitter, users dissected every line, speculating about whether Kendrick had intentionally referenced Drake and interpreting the nuances of his stage movements. Even entertainment outlets began reporting on the phenomenon, covering fan theories and viral memes that emerge in response to the performance. The interplay between fan engagement, media coverage, and artist visibility illustrated how cultural moments are co-created in the modern digital era. Meanwhile, speculation about Drake's response intensified. Fans and analysts debated whether he would respond with a track, a social media post, or even a public appearance, while also considering how silence might be used strategically. Music commentators noted that this rivalry isn't just about direct competition. It reflects broader issues of legacy, influence, and cultural relevance in a fast-paced digital landscape. Every new clip, meme, or reaction contributed to a global narrative, keeping audiences engaged and invested. By the third day, it was clear that Kendrick's MTV performance had done more than earn a high score. It had sparked a worldwide conversation, blending artistry, rivalry, and fan culture into a phenomenon that would continue to unfold. By the fourth day after Kendrick Lamar's sensational MTV performance, the cultural conversation had reached fever pitch. Fans, media outlets, and fellow artists alike were dissecting the performance across every possible platform. Social media remained flooded with reaction videos, memes, and breakdowns that highlighted Kendrick's lyrical precision, stage control, and the sheer energy he brought to the arena. TikTok compilations showcasing his best lines and crowd interactions went viral almost instantly, while Instagram Reels provided up-close moments of the audience reacting with awe and excitement. On Twitter, hashtags praising Kendrick's dominance trended worldwide, and heated debates continued over the significance of the MTV score. Analysts and fans alike were focused not just on the performance itself, but on its broader implications for the ongoing rivalry with Drake, the dynamics of hip-hop culture, and the ever-present pressure of maintaining influence in a digital-first music landscape. Industry insiders jumped into the conversation with detailed analysis. Music commentators noted that Kendrick's performance was not just about skill, it was a masterclass in audience engagement, media strategy, and cultural positioning. The use of visual effects, staging, and song transitions were highlighted as deliberate choices that reinforced his dominance, demonstrating how a single live performance could communicate authority without needing a word of explanation. Analysts argue that the MTV score, while partially symbolic, reflected measurable engagement metrics such as crowd reaction, streaming spikes, and social media interactions, all of which favored Kendrick heavily. By combining artistry with strategic performance design, Kendrick had turned a live show into a statement that resonated across platforms and solidified his position at the forefront of the industry. Fans and social media users continued to dissect every aspect of the performance. Reddit threads exploded with detailed breakdowns of lyrics, hand gestures, and stage dynamics. While TikTok users created side-by-side comparisons with Drake's past performances to highlight perceived differences in energy and execution. Memes and viral videos further amplified engagement, portraying Kendrick's triumph dramatically while also sparking humorous commentary about Drake's perceived loss. Fan culture had evolved into active participation, where audiences weren't just observing. They were co-creating the narrative, shaping opinions, and influencing public perception of the artists. Each clip, reaction, and meme added to the global conversation, ensuring that the story remained front and center in online discourse. The media's coverage of the event further intensified the discussion. Major outlets framed Kendrick's performance as a defining cultural moment, emphasizing how live performances can serve as statements of influence and dominance in modern hip-hop. Analysts highlighted that while the MTV score might seem like a single metric, its significance lay in the wider perception it created. Fans and industry professionals alike viewed it as proof of Kendrick's current cultural and artistic supremacy. Interviews with music experts, podcasters, and entertainment reporters dissected every element, from Kendrick's lyrical nuance to his stage presence, while also speculating about what Drake's next move would be. Headlines across major publications emphasized the drama and competitive tension, reinforcing the narrative that this was more than a performance. It was a statement to the music world. Anticipation for Drake's response reached unprecedented levels. Fans, industry experts, and media outlets debated how he would handle the MTV score and Kendrick's dominating performance. Would he release a new track to assert his supremacy? Would he respond through social media, interviews, or live appearances? Analysts noted that in the modern music landscape, silence can be as strategic as action, with fans dissecting every hint for clues. The ongoing conversation demonstrated the intricate interplay between performance, perception, and digital engagement in shaping artist reputations and cultural narratives. By the fourth day, Kendrick's MTV performance had transcended the stage, becoming a multi-platform phenomenon that would influence fan discussions, industry analysis, and the ongoing Drake-Kendrick rivalry for weeks to come. By the fifth day following Kendrick Lamar's unprecedented MTV performance, the story had fully transformed into a global cultural phenomenon. Clips of Kendrick's flawless stage presence, lyrical precision, and audience engagement have been replayed millions of times across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Fans analyzed each gesture, pause, and line, dissecting the performance frame by frame, while memes, reaction videos, and fan edits amplified the narrative further. The MTV score, which had sparked the initial wave of attention, had become a symbol of Kendrick's dominance, and fans debated its significance endlessly. While some saw it as tangible proof that Kendrick had schooled Drake once again, others argued that scores and metrics could never fully capture influence, leaving room for heated discussion and speculation. Fans continued to create and share content at a staggering pace. On TikTok, compilations highlighted Kendrick's most commanding moments on stage, dramatizing lyrical prowess, visual staging, and audience reactions. Instagram Reels featured fans in the arena, dancing and shouting along, while Twitter thread dissected lyrics and gestures, attempting to determine whether Kendrick had made subtle nods toward Drake. Online communities were fully engaged, generating endless commentary, debates, and theories about what the performance meant for hip-hop culture and the ongoing rivalry. Memes further fueled engagement, with some humorously portraying Kendrick as the undisputed winner and Drake as struggling to keep pace. The participatory nature of fan culture ensured that the narrative extended far beyond the stage, blending performance, fandom, and digital discourse into a single, immersive phenomenon. Industry experts weighed in with deeper analysis of the impact. Music commentators emphasized that Kendrick's performance was more than entertainment. It was a strategic statement. The meticulous design of the show, from lighting to song transitions, underscored his mastery over stagecraft and audience perception. Analysts noted that the MTV score reflected engagement metrics such as crowd reaction, social media activity, and streaming spikes, highlighting Kendrick's influence in multiple dimensions. Some speculated that the overwhelming attention might pressure Drake to respond creatively, whether through a track, social media commentary, or public appearance. Others argued that Kendrick's calculated composure and technical precision had solidified his position, leaving Drake in a reactive position. The performance demonstrated that artistry in the modern era is as much about cultural influence and media engagement as it is about music alone. The media continued to fuel the conversation, framing Kendrick's performance as a defining moment in contemporary hip-hop. Headlines emphasized his mastery of the stage, the MTV score, and the cultural ripple effect it created. Entertainment outlets interviewed experts, fans, and fellow artists, analyzing the performance's impact on the broader music landscape and its implications for Drake. Coverage emphasized the dual nature of the event. It was both a showcase of Kendrick's artistic genius and a flashpoint in an ongoing rivalry that had captivated global audiences. Podcasts, YouTube reaction channels, and blogs dissected every moment, reinforcing the narrative that this was a performance with consequences beyond a single award or score. Speculation about Drake's response reached fever pitch. Fans, media, and insiders debated whether he would release a song, address the performance on social media, or remain silent strategically. Every cryptic post, studio photo, or interview snippet was scrutinized for hints about his next move. The MTV score had not only validated Kendrick's dominance in the moment, but also set the stage for the next chapter in one of hip-hop's most high-profile rivalries. The combination of fan analysis, media coverage, and industry discussion demonstrated how a single performance can spark multi-platform cultural impact. By the end of the fifth day, it was clear that Kendrick Lamar had not just delivered a performance. He had created a defining moment in music, leaving fans, critics, and peers eagerly anticipating the next move in this ongoing saga. The ripple effects of the MTV showdown would continue to shape conversations about artistry, influence, and competition in hip-hop for weeks, if not months, to come. Kendrick Lamar's MTV performance has officially taken the music world by storm, leaving fans, media, and fellow artists talking nonstop. From his flawless stage presence to the viral MTV score, Kendrick proved why he remains one of hip-hop's most influential forces. Fans across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube have dissected every moment, from lyrics and gestures to crowd reactions, turning the performance into a global cultural event. The rivalry with Drake is far from over, with fans speculating on how he might respond next. Will it be a new track, a social media statement, or a live performance comeback? One thing is certain, this showdown has reignited debates over dominance, artistry, and influence in modern hip-hop. Make sure you stay tuned and follow every update, because the drama between Kendrick and Drake is just getting started, and the next move could completely redefine the rap game.